I'm good to go.
Let's do it. Welcome to the Sofa Kingdom podcast with your hosts, Nelson
And
Ed.
and our special guest today,
Turco.
That's right. Turco, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
What's up? What's up? I'm from South Florida. I grew up in Pompano Beach. I'm a rapper. I make music. I sing. And hopefully I'll be at the top one day.
Nice, man.
There you
I'd
go.
like to hear that.
There you
I'd like
go.
to hear that. Ian, what about you? You're eating already?
Eating already, you know how it is.
God damn it, man. It's not even 30 seconds into the podcast.
Listen, I left the gym to come here.
Oh, all right.
I gave up
And we
right
love
up.
you for it. We love you
Exactly.
for it. Yeah. What were you doing at the gym? Pumping iron?
Shoulder day.
Shoulder day. Yeah. You don't think you got enough shoulders on you?
I don't think so, not yet, no. I do shrugs, you know.
It's part of the cycle.
Yeah,
It's, you know,
I get shrugged at a lot, but I don't do shrugs. Yeah.
yeah, you can always tell you're doing them right because you have to make a horrible face when you're doing it. If you're doing them right, you gotta be like,
Yeah.
I always tell people that. I'm like, you don't look fucking stupid, you're not doing it right.
So Eddie's normal face.
No comment.
Same genetics, buddy.
I guess
Same,
you're right.
yeah. Literally same DNA. Like, you know.
I guess you're right. Yeah. So, all right, I'm going to talk about it. And I know you guys are going to be mad because we've talked about it in the past. Doctor Strange came to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
So I watched it a second time. And I liked it.
I enjoyed it the first time.
I didn't hate it the first time, but I liked it a little more the second time.
Ian's still clearly upset.
Listen. I didn't think it was a pile of shit. I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't think it was a pile of shit the first time I saw it. It just wasn't as good as the first Doctor.
All right. So, what's your opinion?
All right,
Tell us.
There's a lot I got to say about that.
There you go. Thank you. Because I've so far been the most critical person on it. I'm glad someone else.
I love Marvel, hands down.
All
Marvel
right.
is one of my favorite anything. It's one of the best creations ever made on
Okay.
planet Earth.
All right.
But when they took this spin-off with Scarlet Witch and this whole demonic plot that she had, it threw me off. I was like, well, this is not what I'm used to with Marvel, you know? But I mean, I get it. There's a lot of old fans, you know. I'm a little bit younger. There's a lot of old fans that read all the comics and this and that, so they know more about it. But when they took that spin-off and it became a little demonic, I'm one of those people where I'm like, all right, now I lost that vibe. I don't want to watch this anymore. It just felt weird to me.
Okay. All right. So, was it that the Scarlet Witch went evil and she was fighting Doctor Strange? You didn't want to see that dynamic, or was it just the whole the evil zombie plot of the whole movie?
It wasn't zombies. It was straight up demonic. Like it was satanic. Hands down to the point. It was there was like a demon book, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she's like summoning, you know, whatever, like imps or not imps, but like they were a lot larger
Imp-like.
Imp-like creatures that were there. Yeah. I
And
got you.
that's Sam Raimi putting his shit in. Sam Raimi, who did Evil Dead.
Right.
I mean, literally, the Book of the Dead was in that, the Necronomicon.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you did that movie. Like,
Right.
I guess, you know,
Bruce Campbell was even in it. I'm like, what are you doing?
This is true, and he's the king of those kinds of movies, like the horror
He
genre.
fused. Sam Raimi's like, okay, I'm gonna still make my stuff I did years ago relevant. I'm gonna kind of push it into Marvel. And I picked up when I was like, oh man, he's trying to make a horror movie. I'm like, oh fuck, like.
I liked it because it was different from the other stuff, and being one of those old heads that read into the comics, I already knew that Doctor Strange really did tie into some of the more demonic parts of the Marvel universe. You know, he was kind of like their John Constantine. Like John Constantine in DC goes after the demons and he's trying to save his soul and things. And Doctor Strange kind of reprises that role in Marvel. So they did pick Sam Raimi, right?
Yeah, Sam Raimi did direct
To
it.
bring that more to light. But it did take it out of the realm of the normal Marvel universe that we're used to
It was
seeing
just
and
different.
loving.
It was even different when you compare it to the first Doctor Strange. It was
Yeah.
just I was I was excited for the movie, but then after I saw it, I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
And I even saw the direction they were going, and as it was going, I was like, oh no, we still got.
But
an
they've
hour
been
left.
trying to expand on the way they've been even when you look at what they did with the Eternals, it was deliberately done differently than the other Marvel movies. So they're trying to expand on what they're doing with the movies to be a little more broad. And
So you
apparently
think they're trying to bring in a larger audience that they don't have.
they're trying to be
currently.
more than just a comic book movie, just another comic book movie. So that's why you see Thor, they went very heavily into the comedic, and it was successful. They're like, so let's see what else we could do. Can we take a character and go down a slightly more different avenue? And apparently they actually toned back some of what they did with Doctor Strange 2. It was more of a horror movie in the original cut.
Right. So you're saying that what they presented on the theatrical version
Was the scaled back version of what they originally shot.
There's like an R-rated version just chilling somewhere with like.
Oh shit.
They are still trying to bring in kids, so they did have to bring some things and take it out.
And that's where I would definitely agree is like this is ultimately like a family kind of a flick. Like it's a for everyone kind of a vibe. So when you do present that horror aspect, you are going to alienate some of the younger audiences.
Hands down. I mean, realistically, the first couple of movies with Doctor Strange involved in it was rather funny and interesting, and more like it was a family tone, like you said.
Sure.
But then when you're putting out a movie like that, and now you have an entire group of people who are not used to anything of that sorts of what it ended up being.
Right.
It might have thrown a lot of people off.
Oh yeah, it was kind of like when the Suicide Squad 2 came out. I remember, and I'm not gonna say who they were, but they took their kids to see the Suicide Squad 2, and I remember her coming back to the gym saying, "Why did they have to show John Cena's dick?" She's like, "I brought my daughters to see this movie." I'm like, "It is rated R, right?" So you gotta check those things, but it's like also like.
Why not?
I know you're here for John Cena's dick, but some people may not want to see his dick. Finally.
Waiting the whole goddamn. Get Margot Robbie off the screen. Get her off. Bring John Cena back.
That one's a little bit tougher to make a mistake on. It's called Suicide Squad.
And it's rated R.
And it's
fucking
rated
R.
At a certain point, you're like, come on.
If you put the kids in the van and you take them off to see an R-rated movie,
but at no point in time do I ever go into a movie wanting to see John Cena's dick.
Never.
Or any dick, as a matter of fact.
I second that.
I'm still on the fence. I don't know.
To each their own. To each their own.
I guess.
Fuck out of here.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I guess Doctor Strange was a family film right up until Black Bolt's head exploded. And then it was like, okay, now we're not a family film anymore. I don't know.
So Ed, tell us about this wonderful Die Hard trailer that we were watching with Mel Gibson.
Oh, man. It looked like the most generic action thriller movie. Hot Seat.
Hot Seat.
The name is even terrible. Mm-hmm. The only interesting thing about it is that Mel Gibson is in the movie. Other than that, it looks like just... the trailer gives it all away. They capture a hacker. They put a bomb under his chair. Go do the hacking for me. And then blames him for the previous bombing person that he killed. Where it's like, this isn't even original. Right. We've seen all of this shit before. In fact, I'm pretty sure Mel Gibson has been in all of the movies where this shit has happened already.
Well, with Tom Cruise, getting a hit with Top Gun, now we're going to see all these other action heroes coming out of the retirement. Like, well, I can still do it. Top Gun made a lot of money,
So what's next? Another Steven Seagal movie?
He never stopped.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That motherfucker never stopped making shitty movies. He never stopped.
He's making movies for Putin. Yeah. In Russia.
Exactly.
We don't need to see that
He's
shit.
got his own production company directly funded by terrorists. He's just still putting out shitty movies.
Yeah. And by the way, Steven Seagal, Ian still would love to fight you.
I still have the challenge set. He hasn't responded. Weird.
I'll referee. I'll make sure it's fair.
I have no part in this.
Every week I send him a different John Cena dick pic.
Oh my god! How many do you have?
I'm
over here wondering why you're eating so much salami.
Alive. 100% salami guy.
Oh shit!
Balls in your court, Steven.
Balls in your court. Another dick reference.
Oh man.
Oh, we're going in hard.
What kind of show is this?
Yeah, going in hard in the paint. Yeah. All right, back to Thor, right? Final trailer.
When did we start?
We talked about him being funny in the Marvel movies.
Yes.
Okay. So we seen the trailer. I'm really looking forward to Love and Thunder. It looks really fun. It looks like it's going to be star-studded. It's got the Guardians of the Galaxies. It's got Valkyrie. It's got She-Thor, regular Thor, Goat Thor, Frog Thor. The whole fucking squad is there. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, I mean, I was mad that the trailer showed the Jean-Claude Van Damme split. I would have loved to have seen that in the movie theaters. But, you know, I'll go with it. You know,
they got to bring people in, man.
They do.
Yep.
They do.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to, at least the trailer's portraying it as like a whole squad movie. Mm-hmm. So whether that'll actually be what it is towards the end versus like maybe just a chunk in the middle.
Right.
But I mean, they literally says he's putting together a team
right.
in the beginning of the latest trailer.
So I don't know much about God the Butcher. What's his name?
Gore the God Butcher.
Gore the God Butcher. So apparently maybe he's just that strong that they need an entire team to fight him.
Absolutely.
Which is going to be played by Christian Bale in all white. He looks fucking menacing.
Yeah. And the early reviews of the movie, they're saying a lot of good things about Christian Bale's role. In fact, one critic was even saying it's the best villain ever depicted in the Marvel universe. So
wow, better than Thanos? That's crazy. That's a lot to be said.
If anyone can deliver it, Christian Bale can deliver it. I mean, the guy can act. I mean, so I don't know.
That's the truth. He's still my favorite Batman. You know, even better than Adam West, the original cornball Batman. But like Christian Bale really sold Batman for me. And then, you know, Michael Keaton too. He's up there. We just forget about what's his name? Oh, Ben Affleck. Yeah. Shittiest Batman dude ever.
Really?
Graced the suit.
You'd put Ben below George Clooney?
I mean, the nipples on the suit was a tragedy, but George Clooney was still a better actor than Ben Affleck.
That's fair.
Ben Affleck just seemed flat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if Jennifer Lopez was on the other side of the directing chair, maybe he would have showed a little life. But at the time, he didn't have nothing.
Well, actually, Val Kilmer played Batman for a little.
He was a good Batman.
Yeah, he did play Batman.
He was a good Batman.
I think
it was Keaton.
Part of the problem with Ben Affleck's Batman is he's never really had a full movie. He's always just a chunk
He's been in somebody else's movie.
Yeah, it's always like one of a dozen characters, and you're trying to tell a story without. I mean, everyone knows Batman, but no one's had the chance to watch him portray Batman in total for a whole movie. Where they going into, because DC is trying to rush to catch up with Marvel, and they're not building any of their characters before they're throwing them all together.
Okay.
And trying to start a universe which is already, you know, fucking falling apart. You got multiple Jokers, multiple Batman.
Yeah.
Ezra Miller's on the fucking run.
Do you know about Ezra Miller, the kid that played the Flash? What's going on with him at all?
No, I don't really dive into.
Okay, all right. So Eddie, bring him up to speed. Just a quick clip.
So probably like 2 weeks ago now. At this point, Ezra Miller disappeared. They were trying to serve him with papers. And they couldn't find him, and then he's just texting shit on like Twitter memes, like you can't find me.
No, this is in real life.
This is in real life. This is some real life shit.
So he disappeared with a girl that apparently he's been talking to since she was 12.
Yes,
which is
That's
horrendous.
disgusting.
Like sending messages,
and then disappeared.
Not good.
With her. So I believe they finally caught him, and they're bringing him in, and they're trying to figure this whole shit out. But
so you can't really release the Flash movie if you're a pedophile.
Yes.
Well,
really
at this point, they're still talking about releasing the Flash. They haven't given the final decision, but as it is, the movie looks like it will be released. Mm-hmm. But after that, he will no longer be playing Flash.
I'm just not interested in seeing the movie at all.
Yeah, we're gonna skip that one.
I'm just not interested in DC at all.
Yeah, they really haven't done anything as far as movies major. But I will say some of their TV shows have been pretty decent.
Yeah, well, their universe is kind of like what happens when you try to rush shit. Yeah. Like Marvel built up their film for years.
Yeah,
they started with Iron Man, then they threw and then they did what they had to do for like 8 years before the Avengers.
And
was
DC,
even
like I said, again, it's all over the place. None of the cartoons match up with any of the TV shows, matching up with any of the movies, and even the movies don't match up with the other fucking movies.
And the actors can't get their shit together.
No, all of their half of their actors have got something going on in the background.
Yeah, between Ben Affleck going to rehab after the Batman Superman thing, and then Amber Heard being Amber Heard, and then now Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller being on the run.
There's a lot of weight on The Rock's shoulders right now to do a good job as Black Adam.
And I think
if that shits the bed, God help us all.
I think that whole portion of DC, like with The Rock and Shazam in them, I think they can probably etch their own little corner out and do a little something cool over there.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have to it's gonna have to be a huge release and do really well in the box office.
And even the Black Adam movie, it looks like they're introducing a half a dozen characters as well.
Right.
So once again, instead of introducing a character or two, they're giving you an entire squad of people, which DC thus far has been terrible at doing. Marvel has done it well, where they introduce a bunch of characters in one movie and you're like, okay, I'm on board. They did it fantastic with Guardians.
Right.
You watch Guardians and, a couple minutes in, you're like, all right, I got the characters. I know who they are. I know where we're going. DC has failed to do that even with characters in multiple movies.
Yeah, are they going to just explain Black Adam, Dr. Fate, and Hawkman? Like, there's 45, there's 45 minutes of the movie right there. Like,
yeah.
Okay, so... I don't know, man.
That's probably how they're gonna do it.
There's one thing I'll give DC, and that's their Batman fans. Batman fans are some of the most hardcore fans
Absolutely.
in
this
the
is
world.
true. Yes, they are
And
diehards.
It blows my mind because he's probably one of the sorriest any type of heroes you could possibly create. I mean, this is just my opinion. I know there's going to be a lot of backlash about it, but realistically, what is he? He's
rich. That's his superpower.
He's a rich, smart guy.
He's a billionaire with a black belt. That's pretty much it.
Yes, it really is. And we've talked about this. Like, the audacity that they can think that Superman would lose in a fight to Batman blows my fucking mind, because he's in a suit. He's in a fancy suit.
It's like he's saying it's a special type of people that's a Batman fan. Like, they have to well, if he had a year worth of planning and Superman had kidney cancer, I mean, they have to come up with this crazy fucking scenario where he would win. Like,
their only defense to him being better is that, he's always one step ahead, apparently.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, we get it. He's smart,
Yeah, so if you give him a year in a portfolio, he can, what the fuck? I mean,
but then, technically their strongest hero, which is Superman, is easily defeated by a little bit of kryptonite. I mean,
right.
That's true.
That's why I don't like DC.
DC is notorious for making these OP characters and then a really crazy caveat to how you can stop them or how you can really put them in the dirt, like kryptonite. And then at first it was this really hard thing to find, and then all of a sudden everybody's buying kryptonite at Walmart. You know what I mean? And everybody's got kryptonite bullets, kryptonite capes.
Lex Luthor has the world's supply of kryptonite in his vault.
They start making this shit. I'm like, what the fuck? It's but that's
I just
like
when they said that Superman had a magic weakness, and then there was all this fan theory of how Harry Potter could beat Superman. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god, he could barely beat Voldemort without this team of fucking nerds next to him. So he's gonna beat Superman. It's just, man. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. Goku is the only one that I could say could stand a chance against Superman. Outside of that, I don't. Maybe Omni-Man. I don't know if you ever seen Invincible. Omni-Man's a bad motherfucker.
He is a bad,
but he's a murderer. So that's the one heads up he may have up.
He's
on
basically Superman if Superman was
the Punisher's morals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you used Goku as an example. That's perfect. It's what if Superman was more like a Saiyan?
Right.
What if he didn't come here as a kid to help us? He came here to fucking farm us. He's waiting to conquer.
If he actually did what Goku was supposed to do when he was sent to Earth, he was supposed to take over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that part of Goku I didn't know, because
really?
I always jumped into the lighter part of Goku.
Yeah. Goku's job when he was sent here in a capsule by the Saiyan planet was to kill us all. So that the Saiyans could sell the planet.
Then when Prince Vegeta comes in, he's like, "Why are we not ruling?"
Didn't they touch up on this on the Broly movie that came out?
Yeah. Because Broly actually, out of all the Saiyans born, Broly was the strongest ever of being naturally born, and he actually was driven insane, or at least to a primal hatred of Goku because of Goku's crying as a child. Their chambers were right next to each other. And because Goku cried so loud, Broly fucking hates him. Hates him. Literally hates Goku. As soon as he sees Goku for the first time in the first Broly movie, he can't control himself. He goes psychotic. He's like, that motherfucker.
That's fantastic.
The one that was deemed to be the weakest of all of us ascended to the top. And it's him. It's that motherfucker.
I don't know, man. Vegeta's always been my favorite. I love the whole Kakarot. Yeah. He's always fucking angry.
The definition of
to be
short man
#1.
syndrome.
Yeah,
Little
man.
guy syndrome. Pissed off all the time.
Syndrome.
Pissed off all the fucking time.
He's the man. Fuck that.
He's
Vegeta.
always about it. Just hands down, he's always about it. It doesn't matter what it is.
He wants in and he wants to fight. And he's like, fuck it.
He's killing his friends. Like I love Vegeta don't give a shit. He's never giving a shit.
What about the fan theory that didn't like Goku steal Vegeta's wife?
No.
What's the story with that?
There was a character, Bulma, who
Right.
was like the first person that Goku ever met. If you go back to Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Like it was Bulma and Goku traveling around a car trying to find the Dragon Balls. That's back in like the 80s. That's the first Dragon Ball.
All right.
Well, eventually Bulma, they met up with another character, a human character, Yamcha. They were dating for a long time. As soon as Vegeta shows up on Earth, he just steals Yamcha's girl. Like all of a sudden it's like Bulma and him are on a break. Next thing you know, Bulma just shows up pregnant. Like not even like no, it just shows up pregnant. And like Vegeta's
Another reason to like Vegeta.
Yeah, Vegeta's like what? Like what? Like what? Like what? Like I just did what I got.
Who's gonna stop me?
Yeah, exactly. No, you
I am
Yamcha.
superior.
Exactly. You Yamcha, you're gonna stop me? No, I don't think so, buddy. That's not how it works.
That's fantastic.
So yes, Vegeta is Mr. Steal Your Girl. He's
That's what I'm saying. Another reason to like that motherfucker.
He pops up and takes your bitch.
Yep. And then he shows up with a pink shirt on. It says Bad Man on it. Literally just Bad Man on it. I was like, no, I need that fucking shirt. I need that shirt.
That's fucking great.
That's Vegeta.
Didn't we hear some news about Hunter x Hunter coming back
Yes.
as well?
They're doing another season. They're continuing it.
Look, that was a show that I won't lie. Like the first couple episodes, I'm like, I don't know if I like this show. But then like one episode hit, and then I was like, I'm fucking hooked. I love the whole goddamn show. I think it was when they started fighting each other for like positions, and I was like, they're trying to poison each other and shit. I'm like, yo, all right, I'm with it now.
Well, the creator of that show created a show long time ago called Yu Hakusho, and that show was fantastic. It's still underrated in my opinion.
I've never seen it.
Literally, character wears green too. I know. Just like Hunter x Hunter, main character, black haired kid, fucking wears green.
The problem is, I think because it came out at the same time as Bleach.
Yeah.
Bleach overshadowed it.
Well, Bleach came out later, but it's very similar. Spirit, Afterworld, it's a very similar thing.
At least when it came
Bleach
to
got
America,
bigger. Bleach
they were
got
around
bigger.
the same time.
Yeah, Bleach got bigger.
Yeah.
Yu Hakusho though, in my opinion, like every single shonen anime has like a tournament. They always have like a tournament.
Yep.
Somewhere along the line. In my opinion, the Dark Tournament in Yu Hakusho is one of the best in all anime.
Damn, I'm gonna have to watch this shit.
Yes, you can still get it. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's an older anime, but it's definitely worth it.
It was one of those shows that was always on at like 2:00 in the morning when I woke up. Damn, thirsty as hell. You know, I need to drink some water, and then it's there, and I'm just like, let me watch this.
I'm gonna have to watch this. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, that show was Inuyasha. It was always on late. Like, and I didn't give a shit about a love story between a Japanese high school girl and a half demon. But you know what? I could fucking sing the theme song. Because that shit was always on. I'd be the same as you. I'd come home late at fucking night. I'm hungover. I'd fucking get it. What's on? Oh, fucking Inuyasha.
Adult Swim.
Inuyasha. What the, and I just put it on. I'd be like, oh, okay. And after a while, I'm like, what's going on with Kagome? Like, all of a sudden, I care. It's like,
but those were the good days, man. They actually had good stuff
shit
on TV.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. I was watching same channel, different time, but it was One Piece that was always on.
Yeah.
That motherfucker with the straw hat.
Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy. Yep.
One of the longest running manga.
And I'm never going to start it because it's 1,000+ episodes, and I don't have that type of time. I'm sorry.
I had started it, but
that's a degree.
it's a long way to get through.
That's an associate's degree.
But it's got to be a great show if it's been on for so long. It has
the guys never stopped writing. They've never stopped adapting to anime.
It's kind of like The Simpsons, huh?
Yeah.
Because that's an American cartoon.
When you're looking at manga, it's primarily done by a single person. So this show and the manga has been done by the original author this entire time. Whereas The Simpsons, they might hire a whole staff of writers, people coming and going back and forth. So they're bringing in different people to keep going. This is all the same guy for the whole 20+ years that this thing has been running. It's
insane.
Pretty crazy.
So let me ask you guys, because you guys seem to know a little bit more about anime than I do. Who's the most OP character in any of these shows that you think I mean, for me, the only one that I think of comes to mind is One Punch Man.
There are
One Punch Man's pretty
One
good.
Punch Man seems to
He's
be like
definitely
one of the
OP.
That's a
most
pretty
OP
good example.
guys.
Just because he beats everyone that shows up in one fucking punch.
It's in the title.
The show. Yeah.
One Punch Man.
Yeah. And his attacks are so ignorant. It's like regular punch. And then like one of his moves he used to finish the guy in the first season. It was like an alien god, and like he beat him with some move called slightly harder than normal punch. I was like, what the fuck? Like his
character is so basic too at the same time.
Yeah.
But he's one of the most OP characters that are out there. However, I mean, like there's just so many characters from so many shows that I feel like are OP that people forget about.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, jumping back to Hunter x Hunter, you know, that's one of my favorite shows. I think there's a lot of characters there that are OP than a lot of people are mentioning or in their top fives.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Just Hisoka. Hisoka is one of my favorite. You know, his bungee gum move is one of the
that's who you were gonna ask. The clown motherfucker.
Yeah,
Hisoka.
dude, one of the best.
Hisoka was creepy ever since he showed up. Like, it was like,
He's perverted, hands down. He's
Oh,
perverted.
yeah.
The way he looks and feels about Gon just irks me, but
Yeah.
he
he's
is
an
an
OP
OP character, and you enjoy watching him.
Yeah.
You know, he's very intelligent too.
He's unapologetically evil in every category. That's what it is. And
But
like,
he's also got a hint of heart to him too.
yeah,
you know?
yeah, he does. He does. When because if he's infatuated a little bit with a character, he's like, I'll save him for later. You know what I mean? Like,
You don't really know
nobody's
how
all
he's
bad.
feeling, but
Yeah.
you know how he's feeling.
yeah.
But let's touch into this new addition they're having to Hunter x Hunter. What do you guys think is going to be the main plot here? I know they're focusing on Kurapika, but
Really?
they're excluding both Killua and Gon from this new
Interesting.
Really?
chapter that they're
so
doing.
it's an arc just completely on the other kid, the assassin kid.
Yeah, on Kurapika, but his main goal was to get the eyeballs of his people, you know.
Right.
So
But he did kind of dip out somewhere, right, in the show, and then he never really came back. So
he
it could be
accomplished what he
interesting.
was trying to accomplish, and then he also did that thing with what was his name with the Phantom Troop,
Shit.
So I have to rewatch Hunter x Hunter now.
Yeah.
Does he
doing
have
every
his
season.
own arc in the manga? Because the mangas, sometimes they'll have spin-offs where the side characters do get their own arc in their own separate series that ties into the main series. So I don't know, because I'm not all the way...
You know Shay's gonna give a
Yeah.
shit because Shay has seen all of Hunter x Hunter.
But as
so
far
he's
as the
gonna-
manga goes, there is nothing else that was ever
Written.
created as far as Hunter x Hunter goes, and this new arc that they have that's focusing on Kurapika is in the process
So
of
they're
being
just
made.
giving him his own arc.
I did like his character, though. I really liked his arc in the show, and then they went on Gon, and they went that direction. But I think it could be good because when he was in there and he was going after the troop, the assassins or whatever,
the Phantom Troop.
the Phantom Troop, I thought it was a dope part of the show. Like especially his first fight when he fucked that dude up, like the guy that was super strong. I forget his name.
Yeah,
but the
he
first
took care
guy,
of him easily. Everybody was scared.
yeah, he was fucking everybody up, and he was just like, I got this.
What I love about it is they always make they introduce a new character that's like super strong, and they make him seem like, oh, he's the bee's knees, you know. And then one person comes in and just completely mollywops their ass.
Yeah.
And then you find out there's 10 more characters that can easily have mollywopped his ass. And then it branches off into 10 more characters per character that can mollywop their ass. And it's
But that's nice.
That was literally the archetype like behind Dragon Ball Z. It's
Yes.
like, okay, well, there's a real bad guy. Let's train really hard and fight him. They eventually beat the bad guy, and it's like, okay, we're all. And then all of a sudden, a couple years later, someone else comes up and starts fucking him up again. It's
Yeah,
like, wait a
there's
minute,
another
how many
planet.
levels are there to this? Like, wait,
Wasn't the prince that was like the badass on that one planet that was fighting everybody, and it was like in Dragon Ball Z, like when they went to the one tournament, and there was the young prince. Am I fucking completely?
you might because I know Vegeta's a prince.
Because Vegeta's a prince,
No,
but
I-
I'm not sure who you're thinking of.
Damn, man. So you guys.
There's so many tournaments in Dragon Ball Z. There's,
Yeah,
there's
this is
the
true, this is
Afterlife
true.
tournament. There's so many.
It always half.
recent or in the past.
Dragon Ball Z Prince. I'm looking at
That's
it.
a deep dive.
Hold
I was
on a
like,
second.
there's a lot of info there.
This
The
was
first thing
an
that comes up is
older
Vegeta.
episodes. Yeah, no,
Well,
they go right to Vegeta. Everybody's like, there is no fucking prince.
I know. I'm excited.
Vegeta.
I know. I'm excited because I was always a fan of Berserk, the manga and the anime, and Kentaro Miura, after he died, it was like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? Is Berserk finally over after all these years? They just announced, like literally a couple weeks ago, that Berserk is going to continue. One of his friends, who was real close with him, another manga writer, I guess Kentaro Miura and him were talking, and I guess Miura expressed to him how he wants Berserk to end. He bounced some ideas off him and said, this is how I want Berserk's tale, or this is how I want Guts' journey to end. And so they're going to finish it. Nice. This dude's going to take over the helm, and he's going to finish the final volumes of Berserk. So we're going to finally get an end.
That's a lot of pressure.
It is.
The manga community is pretty small. They all pretty much know each other. It's almost like the American comic books out here, where like there's not really a tremendous amount of them for the amount of work that they do produce. So they all essentially know each other.
Yeah, but there is a deep-rooted like sexual repression in a lot of those mangas that I see like as a general theme, because I know it is cultural though, right?
Yes.
The Japanese really do have this thing about respect and their sexuality and their spirituality, so it is a part of their culture. But like sometimes, like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to touch your.
You touched my meat, man.
And you still ate it?
Yeah.
Oh man.
What did I walk in? I'm all the way out here too, man. This is out of my comfort zone.
He's all the way in the sticks now, boys.
I'm in the boons for real, man. Drove out here. These roads they're not even roads, man.
No, man, they're dirt roads. And there's no lights when you leave.
It's not even dirt. It's like pure white, man. It just looks like a bunch of cocaine on the floor.
Wait till you see the chickens when you're driving out.
Oh, man. You got roosters out here that wake you
No,
up?
but he's got peacocks.
You got peacocks? That's crazy.
I have a video of when we were at his place at one point in time where one of the girls comes running out with an arrow to chase a peacock that was
attacking her car,
destroying her car
with an
its
arrow?
beak. Yeah, it was the closest weapon.
That was our closest weapon.
But really? I didn't know this.
No bow.
I didn't know this about peacocks.
Do you own these peacocks?
No.
No?
No, they just
walk onto the land.
Yeah. They're like, we're here now.
Yeah.
Can you let me know when they're there so I could come and shoot a music video? I love peacocks.
Yeah. If you want peacocks for your music video, dude, we got peacocks.
We can make that happen.
I can get you peacocks.
No, they are loud. And they are obnoxious. I had no idea. I thought they were these pretty animals. And the first time he warned me, he's like, they will attack you. They make a lot of noise and they jump into the trees.
Yeah, but they remind you of the most cockiest man that you could possibly
Oh, yeah, he's right here.
Oh, jeez. As he's eating his salami.
I do it so he can't defend himself.
Oh, man. What are you doing?
No, I love this guy. No.
With peacocks, you know how they spread their feathers and they do that whole thing that's like their mating signal? I call it the peacock effect for male humans, you know.
Yeah.
They
the guy in the orange suit.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's say we're in a vicinity where there's like 3 guys and 3 girls, whatever, you know, and like there's this one guy that's super cocky that comes and tries to like flex on everybody, you know. I call that the peacock effect. Because I see them as them spreading their feathers and trying to show off, like, you know, I'm here.
You just Crunch Fitness in Wellington. You should see those guys.
Oh yeah, gosh, sure. Shit. They're all in front of the mirror, right?
Oh yeah.
Do they fight for mirror space at Crunch Fitness?
There's one mirror. There's one mirror in the locker room that like I don't even go near it because like if you go in, it's just a squad of teenage dudes like in a line with. I'm like, if I swear to God, if you go on the Crunch Fitness like,
are they all doing the
Instagram page? It's the same.
Are they all doing
the
disease pose?
It'd be like guy. It's all like.
Oh, man.
Different pose, different fucking pose. I'm like, oh my God.
You got to get over yourself.
Choose a different mirror.
I got a treat for you guys, and this is in honor of Turkle because he's a musician, and so I'm gonna bring this out. And this is a song that I found. I want you guys to
better not be a John Cena dick pic.
Well, that ends that. So.
Surprise over.
So I found this song. It's a love song written by a rapper that I wanted us to dissect together. It's called
Who's the rapper?
It's BRS Cash, and the song is called Throat Baby.
I'm sorry, who?
Exactly. We were watching these videos of like the worst songs of 2021.
The artist is called
BRS Cash. And the fucking song
is called
Throat Baby. Go, baby.
All right.
And this is a love song.
It's a love song.
It has to be because it starts with sexy little bitch, sexy little hoe. Mm-hmm. I love the way you walk. I love the way you talk. Let a young bleep come play in your throat. Deep stroke your throat till I make you choke. So just
wow,
the opening sequence. I think to myself,
that's just poetry.
This is This is a young Prince, perhaps, maybe.
Like, you know, it just show, you know, I think the guys like Shakespeare and stuff, they just miss the mark, you know. This is like.
Now listen, I've said some pretty funky shit in my rhymes and my raps, and I like to say things to make people like laugh, right? There's a bit of satire in some of the shit that I say, but that's fucking hard. Like, that's on some next level. Like, and this is a song that's like made it to, you know, charts. And
I was just about to say that, like,
it's got a video and everything.
You're very generous.
So and that's just the first verse. Here, let me give you guys a little bit of this next verse.
Jump a couple lines down.
Look, when I found this song, me and my brother
said we can't really destroy our reputation any worse.
Me and my brother were watching, and we found another song that was funny. It came out of Eurovision. We're like, this is hilarious. We could talk about this. And then this one came immediately after, and we're like, fuck. This is gold.
You guys watch Eurovision?
No. We were watching like 20 worst songs of 2022 for something funny to talk about. And these came out. That Eurovision was one of the songs. But the movie Eurovision is fucking great. I don't know if you've seen it. It's fucking hilarious. That's actually a good movie. With Will Ferrell, like, what's the name of that song? Ya Ya Ding Dong. It is the worst song that will stick in your fucking head, bro. I'm telling you. Like, you'll watch that shit and you'll be like, yo, all right.
It's a Will Ferrell movie.
It's a Will Ferrell movie, yeah.
It's that dumb comedy that you're just like, oh my God.
Okay.
Here we go. More poetry by Nelson.
God, no. Not by Nelson. Not by Nelson. This is, in fact, by BRS Cash.
BRS ass.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I'm just going to give you a little more because, I mean, this is too sultry right here. This is like...
Oh, is it?
50 Shades of Grey. Got a little 100. That's if you want it. Extra little 40. Gotta come right now. And I got beans if you bite down. Super good head, no cap gown. Since the first time I've been fiending, I couldn't even believe it. This shit doesn't even rhyme.
Yeah,
oh, man.
I was waiting to hear the next verse, so
none of it rhymes.
It did.
None of it
because
rhymes.
the first one doesn't.
It's got to be the way he's kind of saying
that shit
it.
makes Tekashi 6ix9ine look like Nas. That's just fucking horrible. Oh, Lord.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like,
and I want to know how well that song did. Like, I want to know how much that song grows.
All right.
I was about to ask the same thing. How many clicks does that?
Exactly. Like that. How much does that generate? How many people bump that and go?
Aside from
this
that,
is good shit.
As an artist myself, I began to appreciate trash music because it takes a lot of skill to be ass.
It really, really does.
Because I know where I stand with my skill. I know where he stands with his skill. But realistically, when I try to be ass just to prove a point to everybody around me that's always bumping their heads to the new ass song that everybody loves because of the beat or whatever, I have a hard time. It's not easy to be ass. It's very difficult, and I challenge you to try. It's very difficult. I've tried, believe me.
I always use him as an example, but it's funny because like Tekashi 6ix9ine, like he looks like a
bag of Skittles.
like an elementary school kid's failed art project that came to life. But he himself even says he's like. I don't take the shit I do seriously. He's like, listen to this shit. He's like, I didn't think about anything when I wrote this down.
He's ass, but he's a marketing genius.
Yes, he is.
And that's where he triumphed as far as what he did.
I tried to listen to his fucking music, and I told you. I listened to it the one time I cut my grass. I hit every root in my lawn. I was like standing up on the mower, I was hitting shit. My neighbors probably thought I was insane. I was like,
It gets you going.
Yeah, it does. It does. It makes you just want to run shit over with a mower.
When you listen to music, whether it was hip hop, whether it was rock and roll, whether it was country, whatever it was, what I liked about artists growing up, one, you can understand them. Their lyrics and their music beats that accompanied the lyrics usually coincided together. They made a dope sound. They gave you a vibe. There was a story being told somewhat. Nowadays, that's far few and in between because a lot of the newer musicians are looking for like that quick meme.
Especially in the mainstream. In the mainstream, the lyricist is dead. And been buried for like a decade plus at this point. If you want an actual song with substance and a story, you have to go nothing that's ever on the radio, nothing that's going to on TV. And almost not unless they're doing the video themselves.
Yeah, you got a deep dive.
Yeah,
you have to look for.
You have to find somebody.
Artists, but you know what? There are still a lot of really talented artists out there. Like you have to go looking on your own because I think what happened is you used to go to MTV, VH1, the radio, and that's where you would find your artists. Now artists are spread out all over the place, so you have to really go looking for what it is that you like because there are still a few really solid lyricists like a Kendrick Lamar who's still out there. He's putting music. Even Eminem when he puts out his shit. I know he's older, but he still drops some really dope music.
Occasionally somebody good actually does get into the mainstream.
Yeah, and there's a lot of underground artists that I particularly like.
You gotta give some love to my man J. Cole.
Oh, J. Cole, yeah, he's another badass man. He really does put a lot of good music out there.
Well, it reminds you of a different time in rap, and it's like you were saying, like it used to be like it was a beat, but the beat was lower, it was more simplistic, and it was more heavily on the lyrics, and like you said yourself, it told a story.
Yeah,
you could sit there and listen to the song, you'd be like, okay, like you experience something when you listen to the music, like you got the feel of the song from the lyrics themselves. Nowadays, it's the beat, max volume. Yeah. And the lyrics can just be fucking gibberish. Like, I mean, you're like, you can listen to lyrics, but then like we just read that wonderful piece of art we just read, and it's like, what the fuck did they say?
Yeah. And it's amazing because the amount of people behind getting something to be finally done. I mean, it's very rare if you have someone who's doing all of the work themselves, where they wrote the lyrics and they made the beat and they did, the production and then they finalize it and then they upload. That's pretty few and far in between. For the most part, there's at least a half a dozen, if not more, people dealing with the project. So at some point in time, you think somebody would be like, "Hey man, you hear this? This shit? Are we really gonna put our name on this product? Are we putting our name on this product?"
All they care about is the money. There's a bunch of yes guys around them. I'm like, sure, yeah, man, that's good. Yeah,
I'm sure every headquarters got one guy like that, but then he's just shunned out by the other 9 guys.
They have him killed.
Money.
That's funny. Yeah. All right, Bob, we're letting you go. Here's your severance.
Yeah. There was one guy in Tekashi 6ix9ine crew that was like, "Nah, that's ass, man." And they were just like.
But take
Tekashi turns around and looks at him like Putin.
Yeah.
They took his ass out back.
You gotta go, homie.
Shot him with a rainbow gun.
Pew pew.
Exactly.
But I think there is definitely now I'm seeing more and more like a resurgence of lyricism, a resurgence of good music, and that's in lots of different genres, like alternative rock music seems to be having a resurgence as well. Hip hop definitely. There's been a couple of MCs. Like I think people are just tired of like that same old regurgitated crap because when you see an artist like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, they're putting out albums that people are actually listening to. So you're like, okay, there is an audience there. Now we just need to find those artists to come back out and start putting out really good music for people to listen to. You know?
Oh yeah, I can name a handful of artists right now that are young that are really out there grinding and doing their thing and putting out good music. One of them being Aaron May. I don't know if you guys know of Aaron May, but one of his songs called Let Go is probably in my top 10 as of right now. It's a very great song, and he's a very good lyricist as well. Corday's been doing this thing. I got to give him his props, hands down. He's doing well. Russ is another name, Russ has been around since 2015. I've been listening to him since then, but Russ is also another one of those, newer popular artists that very, very lyrical. I mean, he has a lot of songs that are like, all right, it gets you moving. It's not very lyrical, but when you sit down and listen to his actual lyrical stuff, you see the talent that the kid's got.
Right.
And he makes his own beats, produces his own tracks, he writes his own lyrics. I mean, hands down, he does it all. I mean, that's just 3 artists. I mean, there's so many more that's out there right now.
2 off the top of my head that I really like, as well as NF. He's another artist that I find like he's really good, and he makes it a point not to curse in any of his music. He's one of those guys that like, I don't need to, and he could deliver some serious bars, some serious music. G-Eazy, I really like his music as well. I think he does more of he does a lot of heavy rap, but he also does some R&B rap as well, which I like as well.
Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow is another up-and-coming artist who's doing really well. I know you guys listen to a lot of rock. Now, Ian has a really eclectic taste, which I like, because he really is into like hardcore Viking music where they're fucking yelling, something he can bang his weight to, and maybe a couple of heads along the way.
He kind of looks like a Viking.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I get that. Little Scandinavian.
Who's on your music list for artists that you like in your genres of music?
I mean, if you're talking about the metal scene, Arch Enemy is an older metal band, female lead singer. They just came out with a new song. It might be attached to an album that's coming out. It's called Sunset Over the Empire. It's actually a really, really good metal song.
Nice. And is there vocals? You said there's a female vocalist accompanied with musical instruments as well. Is that what kind of a sound this has?
Yeah. There's actually a lot of good female bands out there, or at least metal bands with female lead singers. Like one of my favorites is In This Moment with Maria Brink. I mean, she's fantastic. I saw her live when they were starting out, and I was like, I remember she came out on stage, and when she was getting into her act, I was like, the fuck is this? Like, I was like, my God.
You fell in love?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
She's nice to look at. And then when you see the sound that comes out of her, you're like, I can't believe that's coming out of her.
That's how I fell in love with Amy Lee from Evanescence.
Amy Lee's one of the all-time greatest voices from rock. Yes, she's fantastic.
What about you, Ed? Any artists that you're listening to?
Of recently, there's an artist, Ronnie Radke.
Ronald Radcliffe?
Ronnie Radke. No.
How did you get that?
Is he the lead singer of... did they just come out with that song, Voices in My Head? What the hell's the name of the band? Oh, my God. Ronnie Radke.
Is that Randy Orton's intro song? I hear voices in my head.
That's similar, but no.
No, you can look it up. No, but he has his group, but he's essentially, even though it's a rock group, he pretty much dictates everything. So he comes up with the lyrics and he picks out for the guitar and for the drums and everything like that. But he's also been doing a lot of mixing.
Yeah, he's the lead singer of Falling in Reverse, and he was the former lead singer of Escape the Fate.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah. So he's been bringing in elements of rap in with the rock and with metal, and he's bringing in like synthesizers, and he's really kind of falls into this weird new genre of like we're bringing in everything that we love. We were a rock band because we, when you're dealing with the label, they want you in a category. We're no longer doing that.
Right.
We have a little more freedom. They don't even put out full albums. He puts out singles.
Right.
Yeah.
As he comes along, hey, this month I got another one out. He just puts them out as he gets them done.
Is he doing it well, though?
Yes.
Yeah, their latest song, Voices in My Head, that's the one that I...
Yeah.
So he's accomplishing what MGK couldn't.
Yes.
3 weeks ago, he put the song out. It's already got 7 million views.
MGK,
So,
he wants to be what Ronnie Radke has been accomplishing. He
listen
wants
to
to
some of his
do
music.
rap and rock at the same time, and he wants to do that kind of stuff. But what he's managed to accomplish is kind of making his own lane, doing everything the way he kind of wants to do it, and really merging a lot of different elements that very few people have successfully kind of merged together. And there's some other people kind of like Ali Sykes is another singer who's starting to bring in more rapping style elements into the screaming and the rock that he does and everything like that. It's starting to really kind of merge.
What's funny is in the beginning, not to cut you off, rap was just taken like a passing fad, right? Like, okay, yeah, I meant to cut him off. Fucking rambling. God damn it, no.
Always cut you off.
Hip hop was taken like a passing fad. And I think over the years, it stood the test of time, even in its, newer phase. I think it's shown that, like, rap is here to say it's a serious genre. I like independent artists. I like unique artists. I like a lot of people that write their own music as well. Like, I take that very personal because when I write my music, I like to make sure I'm putting a piece of myself in there, and there are different versions of myself that
what part of yourself?
It's not John Cena picks, my dude.
All right. Just checking.
No, but I think that when you're listening to music, like somebody like that becomes successful because they are passionate about these different genres and they put it in there. It's not like we were listening to one of these younger artists where they want her to sound like Billie Eilish.
Yes.
So they have Billie Eilish write her songs. This girl sings it. She has a beautiful voice. She's very talented, but it sounds disingenuous.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she's just singing what somebody else wrote. They're like, this song you wrote about a breakup in a relationship. Was this something personal to you? She's like, no, somebody else wrote it. I've never actually been in a serious relationship.
Yeah.
And then when you listen to the song, it shows because it had no emotion.
Yeah.
So it's like
What
you're
type
telling
of person do you have to be to not ever be in a serious relationship?
a very young one.
Well, they're literally
How young are they writing?
they're trying to copy Billie Eilish.
I
who
think she was
herself
like 15,
only
16
just
herself.
turned like 18 and
Okay,
is
yeah. There was.
a child, which she had an excellent voice. So they're just literally trying to copy that. Let's find another young teenager with this style of voice, and let's try to bring her along into this general direction.
It's like if you listen to Miley Cyrus's shit when she was Hannah Montana, you could tell it was just a fake.
That was my first concert.
Really?
That was my first concert.
First concert ever?
Hannah
There's
Montana
no shame.
or Miley Cyrus?
It was the best of both worlds tour.
Okay.
Dude, there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that.
Mine's was Elvis Crespo, Mr. Suavemente himself. Yeah, man. Listen, I don't care who you are. That song gets you out of your seat. You gonna fucking dance. What about you? What was your first concert?
Disturbed Music as a Weapon tour.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I don't even know.
No, Shania Twain. Go ahead. Come on, let it out.
I know the one that got away. I know the concert I wish I would have been my first one.
Which one? Dolly Parton.
It was Breaking No, it wasn't Breaking Benjamin. It was actually might have been my first concert. It was Breaking Benjamin and who the hell were the people that sang Animal I Have Become? I can't think of them.
3 Days Grace.
3 Days
3
Grace.
Days Grace. That's
Yeah.
my favorite band.
Yeah, it was Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace at the York Fairgrounds. That was the first concert I ever went
Hell
to.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was a good
The
show.
band that I've yet to see, but it's my favorite band.
But Third Eye Blind and the Goo Goo Dolls played at York College, and I had tickets to go see it, and I instead chose to get laid and gave up.
You
That's
chose,
it.
you chose right.
No, because I guarantee you, if
There's
I'd
no shame in that.
no
man.
man, if I'd have went to that concert, I'm convinced I'd probably be married with kids right now. I probably wouldn't be here. I don't know. Who knows?
You know what? The first band that brought me into anything other than hip hop was Metallica.
Metallica, in my opinion,
Unforgiven.
is the greatest heavy metal band of all time.
Unforgiven was a song that, like, even the strong, like Biggie Smalls, Nas, Jay-Z, Till I Die, when you heard Unforgiven, you were like, that shit fucking rocked.
The
you,
Black
man.
Album is what every rock and metal artist wishes to attain. The album that brings them not just into their audience, but into a wider audience of everybody else is also listening to it. It's literally when in interviews it's referred to like we're trying to make our Black Album. That is
Got it.
the goal that people
Yeah.
try to set.
Black Sabbath always gets the credit as being like the first heavy metal band.
Yes.
Because of how early they came out. But I think Metallica by far is the best. I mean,
Well, they
because
were-
they're still doing it.
They were
I mean,
the
they're-
first with the heavy metal sound, and that was because their guitarist was in an industrial accident and maimed his fingers.
Right.
So he had to tune down his guitar, otherwise he couldn't play it. So the sound that you normally hear in metal was created because of him working and actually getting injured. So they're definitely accredited with creating kind of the sound behind
Yeah.
heavy metal, but the
And
first is hard to say.
Ozzy definitely personified heavy metal as a
Yeah.
lead singer. I mean, that's
He took it to the next level, right?
yeah. It's kind of hard to
And
I mean,
you would say Nirvana is the king of grunge, right?
Yeah.
Would they be?
Yeah, I would say that. I just wasn't that big of a Nirvana fan just because I guess I was too happy in the 90s. I wasn't sad enough.
Bro, come on. Smells Like Teen Spirit.
I have nothing against Kurt Cobain. Great fucking music. Shitty taste in women. But great.
Clearly shitty taste in women.
A great artist, excellent voice, and a hell of a songwriter. And I mean, he started a genre. He started a genre of music.
Nirvana really brought grunge to everybody else. You still have... Pearl Jam
Bush.
and Soundgarden, which was really
Bush.
around the same era. But Nirvana was the one that brought it to everybody.
He single-handedly turned all the sales to plaid shirts around overnight. Motherfuckers was rocking plaid around their waist.
He put the Pacific Northwest on the map.
Everybody's a lumberjack.
Yep. But Courtney Love, goddamn, what? Why?
I don't know. Look, listen. That's
worse than Yoko Ono.
All the greats have some kind of a vice or another, right? I mean,
usually it's cocaine.
Jimi Hendrix,
lots of cocaine.
Yeah,
lots of cocaine. Yeah, heavy drug use. Even Mac Miller. Like I thought his last 2 albums were fucking fantastic. I felt like he finally hit his
I miss
groove.
Mac.
Oh man! And when he died. That was probably the last artist I was upset that died from the music genres, because I felt like, man, he hit his groove. His music was mature. It was fantastic. It was something to aspire to. Kid died too young.
Yeah,
Ariana Grande did him dirty, man.
Yeah, fuck her. And
did him dirty as fuck.
Yeah.
How you gonna jump out of a relationship and then get married almost immediately right after?
That's because she was already in a relationship with the other guy that she jumped into. Yeah, and so it fucked him up. It really did.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that was a shame. That whole thing.
I've had this argument with a lot of people about it. I genuinely feel like she played a major part in his depression, which led to his death. And people will defend her. 6 Ways to Sunday. It's just. I get where you're coming from, but for you to have, that low of a decency to jump into a relationship, not just that, but get married almost immediately after. Right after leaving him, I mean...
It just shows the level of disrespect she had for
Where
him.
was the love,
Yeah, absolutely.
I get people fall out of love, but I mean, that's just cold.
Yeah. If you
that's quick.
You gotta move on, and this way, everybody can have their time. But look...
To me, it was Chester Bennington.
Yeah,
lead singer of Linkin Park.
Oh,
that's the one that I kind of missed because of how important Hybrid Theory was.
How did he pass away?
Suicide.
Wow. Okay.
Although there is some theories all circulating on the internet. You know how that goes, but there's the theory of him, Anthony Bourdain, and Chris Cornell. All 3 died of suicide.
Yeah.
However, all 3 were funding and producing a documentary on the children that were supposedly abused by the elite in this country. And all of a sudden, within like a 6-month period, all 3 of them killed themselves.
They were all...
Wow, I didn't know that.
I know
a lot of people don't because now the documentary's not being made because the 3 main producers are...
pretty wild.
Because I know Chris Cornell and Chester were really good friends. But they're both very dark and deep lyrics. When you actually go into... And pay attention to what they're saying, it is very, very heavy.
Well, I do want to say that for the people that went after them and killed them, Ian was the one that said, look it up. Nelson has nothing to do with it. I don't think anybody should watch that shit.
I just met him today.
I'm not here.
I don't even know this guy.
I've known him less than an hour. Just mentioned John Cena's dick 20 times.
Only 20?
Man, that's not a lot for you today. I don't know what's going on.
But it's in rock music, especially the 27 Club, where you have there's a whole list of very important rock artists that all died at 27, and Kurt Cobain's on that list. Jimi Hendrix is on that list as well, I believe.
Damn, don't tell me that, man. I'm 26.
Yeah, there's a whole. In fact,
wild.
The singer from the singer didn't write it. Their bass player is the writer of their songs. And Fall Out Boy, he named the song 27 when he turned 28 because he was on that road of doing heavy drugs and partying, and he thought that he was going to be another person that, like, the fame is catching up, can't deal with reality, checking out with drugs, and when he
some people know
made it, he kind of like...
Yeah.
Wow.
Like this is it's a thing in rock music, the 27 Club.
Well, look at Chris Farley. I mean, Chris Farley, like, he a bigger sized guy, but he'd run around and have so much energy in his acts. He'd be like throwing people around, sprinting around the fucking SNL stage. And like his buddies,
his physical comedy was outrageous.
He's one of the funniest physical comedy guys ever. And it's like David Spade and Adam Sandler even used to tell him, they're like, dude, slow the fuck down, like with your drug use and shit. Like you're gonna, because they're like, you're gonna end up like
James
John
Belushi,
Candy. They're like, you're gonna, and his response was always like, those guys are my heroes. I hope so.
Right.
Like he didn't care he was gonna die. He didn't care. He was like, I love those guys. Those guys are my heroes. And
you wonder like if a talent like that, because he did idolize those guys, he aspired to be them in every way, and that was ultimately his success
and
his downfall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're talking Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Ronald McKernan. It's a whole list of very Pete Ham, Chris Bell. These very important kind of to the genre, and they all died at 27.
Illuminati.
Damn, that's some wild shit.
There you go.
Well, that's how some of these celebrities stay young forever.
I believe
you got to get them when they're 27, take that blood, and then start
Amy
drinking
Winehouse.
They're going to those. They're going to those sacrificial
people,
elitist meetings.
Damn, that's crazy. All right, I got a question for you
Well,
guys.
that's Tom
then.
Cruise. That's why Tom Cruise still looks the same.
In any genre of music,
He's still 4'5".
yeah.
On a good day.
Who would you say is the most overrated musician of all?
What was that rapper that we were?
All time?
He's not. That's not a fucking musician. Just
Wait.
The
most overrated musician of all time?
Yes.
Jesus.
Ed, you got one?
All genres?
Ooh.
Circle, you got one? Go for it.
That's tough, dude.
It is tough. Like, part of me, just because he stole his music, especially with the movie coming out, wants to say Elvis Presley, but Elvis did have a fantastic voice. He did have a unique and amazing voice.
Star power. He had
And he did karate
charisma.
and shit, you know?
That's like before my
bro.
time.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to shit on Elvis, even though I could. I won't.
I mean, they are
not
really
Elvis.
forcing that movie down everybody's throat.
Yeah, that guy doesn't look like Elvis. He's scary looking. That motherfucker looks like a vampire.
I'll start.
Hey.
For me, it's quite simply Fergie.
That's fair. I'm
music
sorry.
was
That's
so
fair.
corny.
That's fair.
I mean, look, she just got away with being hot.
That's a
right?
strong
She
start.
sold music
thought
based
she was
on
hot?
looks. Yeah. Okay, damn.
You hit it. Don't lie, you hit it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll say it. I'll stand behind that. Yes, I did. I thought she had a sex appeal. She sold that sex appeal. And maybe it's because she stood next to three really ugly guys. I mean, that is the trick, right? You take her away from them, you put her by herself, you're like, maybe she's not as hot. But Fergie's music, her star power, I thought she was completely overrated.
She rode the fame of the Black Eyed Peas and then got famous because she was the only female person from it.
My humps, my
lovely
little
lady
humps. The fuck out of here.
No, but you can't do my hump.
You gotta do it right.
All right, well, check it out. Yeah, check it out. All right, yeah, you're right.
All right. I'll do two. I'll do one, Britney Spears. One, she's overrated because it was like a time when America was not used to the hot jailbait ass yet. This was for like the Rush. This was before the Christina Aguilera, like Rush and everything.
Before you go into your second person, I just want to let you guys know, you guys are naming people that these are like industry plants to me. You know,
Yeah.
Like, none of them write their own music.
No.
Every single one of them are like.
And she overshadowed Christina Aguilera, who was a really
good singer,
legitimate natural talent.
Christina Aguilera could sing. Britney Spears sounded like her fucking nose was stuffed.
Yeah, but
the
these
whole
are
time.
women in an era of music that like all these like corporate giants have picked out. Like they have zero talent, if not negative. You know,
Sure.
But they might look a little bit decent. You know, they might be a little bit hot.
And then they push him out there.
Britney Spears just showed up in a schoolgirl skirt and had Disney backing her, and that was it.
And
America
that was it.
bought
That's
it.
all
Hook,
it
line,
took.
sinker.
Yeah, and she's legitimately crazy.
Yeah, legitimately crazy. And also, I just don't think she's talented.
But
and
she's had a very, very, very shitty history. Like
Oh, yeah.
of what went on in her life.
Her family did her dirty.
She's had a pretty fucked up time. Yeah, I can definitely.
I forget what
agree
year
with
it was where she shaved her head and just went over the top. But I was like, oof, girls
that.
going
Wasn't
through
that Sinead O'Connor?
No, she
No,
always
she
had
did.
to-
She did it also, but They let her get away with it because she's from another country.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, so who's your second choice?
The second one I was gonna say is Boosie because he's always teaching us how to spell.
Oh, man.
I gotta say Boosie.
Boosie.
Yeah, Boosie had a contract with Hooked on Phonics because he was always spelling shit.
I thought you were gonna go with
Always.
Tekashi 6ix9ine. I can't lie. I thought
He
you
spelled We the
Boosie
Best.
like
He
that.
spelled We the Best with DJ Khaled. He spelled
Best.
Independent. He was always spelling shit. Every song he was teaching me how to spell.
That's good.
WETHEBEST DJ Khaled.
Yes, it was Boosie always telling us how to spell shit. I was like, all right, man. I appreciate what you're trying
I'm
to do.
with it. I'm with it.
Those are
Write
my
me
two.
down.
Yeah. All right, Turco, it's on you. What you got?
Oh man, most overrated.
It's tough.
He's
There's a
trying to
lot
wade
out
through
there.
them.
There's
We
a
can
lot.
come back to you.
Look, my level of grading artists is there is no overrated. It's either you're underrated, well rated, or you're not rated for me. You know, it's
Fair enough. Fair enough. I can get with that. Eddie, do you have any?
You know who's someone who's still somehow around that I can't understand why? Soldier Boy.
Oh yeah.
What is he still doing around?
he's a businessman now.
Yes, he's just on marketing.
He's a businessman selling bootleg products from China. That's not a businessman. That's a thief.
But he still manages to stay in the spotlight.
How? How? Who is listening to him and why?
I couldn't tell you.
That's abuse. If
Listen.
you're putting that music on and making your kids listening to it, that's abuse.
Same
Look,
thing.
he came out with this Rick and Morty jam not too long ago. I was bumping with it. Rick and Morty, Rick and Morty, Rick and Morty, Rick and Morty. You know, I was like, oh, you know, I got my 13 and 14-year-old brothers in the car. They're bumping and I'm bumping. I'm like,
all right.
okay, I see you,
That's
Soldier
how.
Boy.
That's how. Rick and Morty.
That's exactly right. I was gonna say the same could be said about Maroon 5.
Oh
These
my
motherfuckers
god.
have been around for like 30 years now.
Yeah, when is
Shit.
it gonna end?
They're,
Lead singer of Maroon 5, Adam Levine. Huge fucking dickhead.
skating off of one good
I
album.
bet.
Huge fucking dickhead.
He thinks he's this hot shot motherfucker, bro.
Oh yes. Oh
Dude,
yes.
I would. All right.
And that's what he sells.
Secrets
That's what he's
Ocean
selling.
City. Secrets Ocean City, Maryland.
All
We
right.
were on a bar. It was a group of friends. And Adam Levine was there. I don't know if he was just visiting Ocean City, Maryland, if he had a concert nearby. I'm not fucking sure. All I know is he was in the bar, Secrets. And he kept sending drinks to a girl who was in our group. She's an attractive girl, but she was with her boyfriend. He would send a drink down the bar to her, and she would say, no, thank you. She wouldn't even drink it. She'd say, no, thank you. Just tell him thank you. But all night, he continued to send drinks, despite her telling him no. And
She's a keeper.
well, the reason he fucking did it, is because he was with his fucking security. We couldn't even walk up to him and say, hey, fuck off, man. You know, he was with
Right.
these giant-ass security dudes.
Oh, what
It
a
was like,
douche.
you know, and you could just tell he's one of those guys that was probably picked on in high school or whatever, and then he finally had his moment where he took off, became an artist, and now he's attractive, and now he's like, oh, I'm going to fucking get back at everybody now.
Yeah.
And his tattoos look like shit.
There you go. His tattoos do look like shit.
He looks like a jailbird.
He is regularly rated as the worst celebrity tattoos. If you go on any
It's
of like
terrible.
the YouTube stuff with the
Yeah.
tattoo artists where they talk about the work and things like he is high on the list
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, he can
They
sing.
all
and he,
look
yeah.
like
Him and
jail
Justin
tats.
Bieber.
But I guarantee, you know, first he's never. I don't think he's ever been in jail. You guys could correct me on that.
Probably not.
But
Probably not. He wouldn't make
but
it.
if he was in jail, he'd be the one getting bent over.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. He's the pretty boy they're looking for sure.
Oh,
For
yeah,
sure.
he'd sell for a couple pack of cigarettes. He's
it's
valuable.
crazy about the tattoos. We had a friend of ours, Dane, right?
Yep.
I think you knew
Baba?
Dane. Baba.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus God.
He was a badass fighter, really nice guy.
Dane is what human beings were like when we had to fight for our food against saber-toothed tigers. Like, that motherfucker is horrifying.
He was a beast of a man.
now
He's got
he
these
is-
giant fucking hands.
When you think Viking, you go, that guy.
Dane,
Yes.
yeah.
But when you talk to him, he was actually one of the nicest guys.
A very nice guy.
Yes.
And he'll actually, like, he could be in positions where he could hurt you. Like, he would have something locked in, and you're like, he'd feel him let it go. And you're like,
Bro, you can
thank you. Like, my bones were
You could feel your
bending.
bones
Thank you.
just going, and he'd be like, he'd
built-
look at you like, you know, I could take this. And then
He's built
and then
different.
he'd move on.
He's built different. This motherfucker, like, each of his fingers is like one of those giant ass dill pickles out of the jar. Like when it closes around your arm, you're like, oh my God, I can't even close my fucking hand. Like, he's a different human.
So
Different human.
Great man, fantastic fighter. One time he was telling me, he's like, I'm going to New York. So he's flying to New York. He's paying for these tickets to go there and back, paying for a hotel, to go to a tattoo artist that he pays the tattoo artist and he can't even pick his tattoo.
Yep.
So the guy is some special guy from France who's
there's a guy in Philly like that.
$400.
Yeah, there's a guy in Philly like that.
I decide what I'm putting on your body.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. I told him, I said, why would you do that? I said, what if he decides to put, John Cena's dick on you? You know what I mean? Like,
John Cena!
you just spent $500 plane tickets.
Who's got that kind of room on their body?
Baba.
Baba, dude.
Yeah, Baba. Yeah. But like, to me, I'm like, that's outrageous. Like, if I'm putting something, especially art, on my body, it's personal and it's something that I'm gonna want on there. And so to me, I couldn't. And then he came back and they look like, what's that Calvin Hobbes that he looks like he's always pissing on something? Yeah, that's exactly what he looks like he paid for as far as the tattoo is concerned. I was like, that was $500? Get the fuck out of here. That took 10 minutes and it looks like shit.
There are a handful of artists like that. Now, in the Polynesian culture for the tattoos, that's the way it was done, but the tattooist was part of the village. So he knew who you were and you knew who he was, and they would give you things based on your life accomplishments. So there were patterns you would earn and things like that. But not
if you got a shitty tattoo, you're probably a shitty person.
Yeah, it's
he knows you.
It's like if they put a pot on you, they're like, now you have one to piss in.
I'd fight him right there.
Oh, yeah.
You have
The
to.
disrespect.
You'd have to.
Like you spend like 2 hours in the chair. He's like tapping the ink into your arm, and then when you look, it's like a flaccid dick. You're just like, fuck, man.
Like, come here, bitch. I'm gonna tattoo you.
Exactly.
It's like, I talked to your wife. This is what you get.
Have you ever seen those shows where people, their friends tattoo like the worst tattoos on them?
Yeah,
Bro.
no.
I would murder somebody.
Bro,
I would fight somebody.
this guy went on that show, and his buddy decided what tattoo he got, and he put the tattoo on his fucking stomach.
And what was it?
And when he lifted his fucking shirt, dude, it was his friend. His friend tattooed himself on his stomach, spreading his ass cheeks, and his belly button was the asshole.
Oh.
Bro, that's on him forever. Forever. It took up his whole fucking life. But you have to kill that man.
Compared to the shit I've seen. I mean,
You have to kill that man. You have to kill that man. You have to kill him. Like, he's ruined your fucking life. Your life is over. Like,
For sure.
Yeah, I've
what'd you
seen
see?
some crazy stuff. You see the worst, man. You see like two best friends go on there, and one of them tattoos like, oh, I fucked your man, or something. And then they find out that way, and it's like, bitch,
it's
committing murder on TV.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Immediately it's like, Jerry. That's I don't know.
I saw this video years ago. This girl getting a tattoo like covered up on her butthole. Like the guy was like in there, like putting like an artistic flower design to cover up somebody's name.
Is that the octopussy?
No, I've seen that girl. But this girl was like getting her butthole tattooed, and like she's like doing shots, and like there's people around her watching it, and she's just like, "Oh, I love it." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
But do you? And are you gonna love the shit you're taking the next couple of days?
Oh Lord, I can't imagine that.
Who hears infection?
Yeah, I don't care how much.
But the amount of times you have to go back,
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's fuck that.
No.
I ain't messing with that shit.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I took 3 shits this morning, so
There's doo-doo in
it
the
just
ink.
consecutively came back to back to back. I have no answer for it. But we got to redo this tattoo.
Yeah, we picked a bad time for diarrhea.
And on that note, thank you for joining us at the Sofa Kingdom podcast, where you can find us on all your social media platforms at
Sofa Kingdom OFC.
And you can find us on YouTube at
Sofa Kingdom Podcast.
Ian, take us away.
Tell somebody, like, share, send a corporate email.
Yes, and we'd like to thank our special guest today, Turgo. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for
We
coming
really
out, man.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And welcome back anytime.
And where can we find you at? Where can we
You can find my page on Instagram at TurcoMusic954.
check him out?
Nice,
Check him out.
Dope MC, you heard it here. Let me tell you guys, seriously, enjoyed the podcast. Thank you.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Like the energy.
That was a lot of fun.
We got off to a floppy start there with the John Cena thing.
John Cena!
Why it gotta be a floppy start?
Hey man, it starts
Could've been
floppy.
a firm start.
It starts floppy. Oh God.
I don't know how you start, but I don't start floppy.
I make her work for it.